Now, before I begin my list of the best albums of 2017, in my opinion, I'd like to go over some honorable mentions.
One's digging
I
me.
live in a constant state of fear and misery. Do you miss me anymore? And I don't even notice.
Alright, here are my favorite albums of 2017 in order from least favorite to favorite. Number 10 is Volumes Different Animals, which came out on June 9th. This was actually quite a surprise for me because I usually don't really listen to these guys that much. I only like a couple of their songs off of their album Via, and when I heard their single Finite, it was very surprising, very different, and very smooth, along with harsh vocals and stuff like that. So it's like very soulful and energetic, and I could really just get down with it. Also, their song Feels Good was really great, and yeah, I wound up listening to this album a lot more than I thought I would. Number 9, we have Vector of Underground, and I don't speak Russian, so I can't really say the name of that album, but I think the English translation is Another Level. And this album came out on December 14th, so it was pretty late in the year. It includes a variety of different genres, all done extremely well, even with comedic elements thrown in. These guys are pretty goofy, like their song Mishka, which actually was a single before this album came out, and it was absolutely fantastic and a lot of fun. It's just quite a variety of good stuff. Very talented guys. Give it a listen. At number 8, we have, from my second favorite band ever, Rings of Saturn, their album Ultu Ula, which came out on July 28th. Now, this was, I'm going to have to say, a little bit of a disappointment. Seems like the riffs and songwriting get a little bit stale at times, but they bring it back with songs like The Macrocosm, which is like an instrumental masterpiece. And it just totally rocks out, especially songs like Parallel Shift and Inadequate. You know, the regular crazy sci-fi Rings of Saturn awesomeness. At number 7, we have Within the Ruins Halfway Human, which came out on March 3rd. This was the first time that I really dove into Within the Ruins at an album release immediately, because usually I'm a little behind the times with them. I listen to their album Elite a lot, so this one was just another great recording of some talented guys with unique ideas. The vocals always strong as usual. I first heard the single Beautiful Agony, and it was just a lot of heavy headbanging fun, gent stuff, you know? Sounds like Objective Reality. I love how they added the clean vocals, and it was just another evolution for a great band. At number 6, we have Arch Echo's self-titled album, which came out May 18th, and this was another big surprise. I can't remember how I found out about these guys, but I came across their Bandcamp page and was immediately blown away by the virtuosic, progressive elements. Songs like Color Wheel and Hip Dipper, which are like the two big singles on the album, were just so much fun. And you could just, you could like see the guitarists and keyboardists smiling as they play these songs, It was just a lot of fun. And then you watch the videos and it just really makes you appreciate it even more. This is really unique stuff, and I think these guys are at the top of the progressive metal scene right now. Number 5 was pretty much a no-brainer, Decapited's Anti-Cult, which came out on July 7th. And this album is a masterpiece from beginning to end. You know, whenever I start listening to a song or two, I wind up just throwing in the whole album because it's just that good. Consistent riffing and grooves, great vocals, it's just a good time. Songs like Kill the Cult and Never, where it's just an onslaught of just in-your-face guitar. Good stuff. At number 4, we have Epica's The Solace System EP, which came out on September 1st. Now, this was a short one with only 6 songs, but man, was it phenomenal, and it really makes me excited to see what they come up with next for their next full-length album. The vocals, incredible as usual, all the instrumentation, you know, you can't go wrong with Epica. They haven't done anything bad ever. And then they actually wound up releasing another small 4-song album in December, which was Epica vs. Attack on Titan, which happens to be one of my favorite animes. And they covered songs from the show, but I figured it's worth mentioning more of their mainline recordings. At number 3, we have Archspire's Relentless Mutation, which came out on September 22nd. Now this just blew me away immediately. I came across the Involuntary Doppelganger lyric video in my recommended on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure that's how most people find out about this band. The incredibly fast lyrics to the shreddy guitars and insane blast beat drums, you know, it just turned out to be a great combination. Their music has great songwriting along with the intensity, so it doesn't get stale, it doesn't get boring. And actually, this is one of the first vinyl records I ever bought because I wound up, you know, wanting something to hang on my wall. So I got myself their Relentless Mutation vinyl. Songs like A Dark Horizontal and Human Murmuration are absolutely incredible, and I just want to sit down and listen to these guys and appreciate all of the skill needed to perform this kind of music. It's great. Reminds me of Flesh God Apocalypse. At number 2, we have one of my favorite bands, Buried Alive, and their album Fool's Gold, which came out on August 25th. Now, this is a guy named Charles Caswell who used to be in a band called Reflections, and he left those guys and continued to pursue this solo career, and it's been absolutely magical ever since he started doing that. Every song he puts out is incredible. You won't hear guitar riffage like this anywhere else. It's all completely original, creative riffs. Super impossible to play or even think of playing and keep up with. He included a couple singles from before on this album, like Schittler and Salida. Also, he started to include his wife, Kaylee, on bass for some of the recordings. So that just makes me appreciate it even more. More good stuff from Buried Alive. And number 1, my favorite album of 2017 has to be Kadinja, their album Ascendancy. Now, this is their first full-length release. It came out on February 17th. And wow, it was everything that all their fans could have wanted. It was re-recordings of previous singles like GLHF and Episteme, and a bunch of great new stuff like A November Day, where the vocals and guitars just match so wonderfully. Everything is so aggressive and so passionate at the same time. There really isn't a single bad song on this album. If I had anything at all bad to say about this album, is that I'm a little upset that they didn't include their single Henry Call Mash Yes, or a re-recorded version of it. So thanks for watching. That is my list of favorite albums that came out in 2017.